Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Jake and welcome back to Space Engineers. So, last time we were starting construction of a new capital ship, or like a ship the same chassis as the capital ship we've got over here. And so what I've done is I've filled out all of the spaces which didn't have armor plating, and this is the final design of the central section, the capital chassis. I've also created a new blueprint for it, so that it's easier to create them instead of me having to manually place blocks all the time. So now that that's done, the next thing that we need to do is the front section and the rear section. Now, my plan for the front and rear section is going to be different than what we have already on the capital ship, just so that you're aware. Because here we've got, you know, two different engine sections going off like this, and then a hangar bay here. But what I want is something a bit different. I'm not sure what, but yeah. Well, that's what we're going to be working on anyway. So, to begin with, I'm going to turn off construction so that, you know, things don't happen. So it's much easier for me to get rid of things I've accidentally placed, and the like. So, if you can tell, this section is not the entire length of the ship, because this section over here is going to be different. I've got a few ideas of how I could do the engines. They may be like inline engines, but that would not leave any room for dockable ships, which is something that I want, really. Alternatively, we could do something else. So what we could do is we could have airlocks on the side of the ship, because we don't have guns and therefore it's easier, and then that can do things. Still in the stages of designing what we want. Yes. So I'll just extend what we've got already into the new engine section area, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, right. So I've just created this frame. There we go. Right. So what we need is we are going to want the tier 2 armored thruster slope, which we'll throw over to here. And what we can do is, by the way, this is temporary, I'm probably going to do something different. So we could have, since this is a 2x3, and for some reason, you know, I'm getting lag, but that's probably because I'm building things. We can have something like this, and then we have 4 of them, which could work. It would mean that this thing has a lot more thruster power, but like so, this guy has 4 tier 2 thrusters, by the way, 4 tier 2 thrusters. This could work if we used T1 thrusters instead of tier 2 thrusters. I'll compare how quickly it accelerates. It doesn't really need to accelerate that fast. It just needs to be able to not be stupidly slow. So if we go like that, and then like this, and then say those two are welded, then it's going to have a pointy feel to it. So what we want to do is, I think, this middle block here. Good, that's where I want it. So as you can see, if we go down here, the edge of the bit where it starts sloping is at the edge of this, and that's good. Right, so now that we've got how we're going to do the engines, we need to plan out where they're going to be placed. So if I create a rim going all the way on the outside, okay, good. So what we can do, go over to number 7, and we want to start placing these guys. So we want to place one here, and then we want to place one here, and then on the other side, Good. Probably want to squeeze them in a bit more. Actually, no, they wouldn't need to. Okay, that's good. And then what we can do... So now we don't have room for the next bit. Interesting. So each of the engine sections, there's going to be 4 of them. Well, I hoped there would be 4 of them. Each of the engine sections is 3 by 4. So if we've got a 3 by 4, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 space 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay then. Right. I see what I need to do. So if we get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of the top and bottom slides, except that bit can stay. Get rid of you 2 because we're going to move you down or up. There is no down or up because we're in space, except that you determined where down is up and up is down and all that other shenanigans. So we could place this guy here, we could place this guy here. Then we can place this guy here, and this guy here. Flip over, and then we'll do the other side. Okay, so that means we now have 8 engines, noting that we've got a lot of room in the center. That's fine. We could probably sort out some kind of thing to go in the center. I'm not sure what, but yes, that will work. So if we do that, and then at the rear, so this kind of section will have cargo containers, and we'll have oxygen tanks, things like that, reactors back here, so that everything else here will basically be full of stuff like medical bays and rooms and things like that, and cryotubes. Essentially, this is going to be the place where people live. So I need it full of, you know, living environments. And then at the front of the ship, I have an idea of having a docking bay where we can have a crew transporter. So basically, transports people between ships, which would be useful. But we'll work on that at a later date. So now that we've got this, we can proceed to get rid of these. Just need to check that these guys are the tier 1s. Good, right. Okay, now, since we currently have a angled approach here, we need to get rid of that as quickly as possible. So I'm just going to create a bed of where things are going to be. So this is essentially what you will see if we didn't use the angled thrusters or the sloped thrusters. Then this is what it would look like. If I go like this, that's essentially what this ship would be. However, we are not. In fact, could we have used a different orientation? Interesting. So our width is bigger than our height. So if we had 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we wouldn't have 1. We'd have 3, and then 3. Okay. Sorry, just thinking about how I could do this better. No. This way, well, we'll see how it looks, and if it doesn't look brilliant, then we'll try a different way. Right, so we've got these guys. Essentially, we've got this kind of a thing here. I'll weld it up so that you can see what I'm talking about. So each of the thrusters have this kind of edge on the block itself. What we want to do is we want to get rid of that as quickly as possible, as I've said many times. Now, one way to do this would be via just having these guys. So I could place this like this like this, flip around this way, go like that, and then we can have you and you. So let's swap those up. So we can have it like this, which may look good. And then and then what we can do is we can link them here. And then do the same on this side. Like that, as a connector thing. And then at the end we'll just have, if we go to the end, we'll have just this, like that, and then these guys. Okay. Well, let's investigate the design, shall we? Let's go over to the construction drone, turn on construct. And let's see how this looks. Meanwhile, I'll be adding additional blocks here. As you can see, simulation speed is decreasing significantly, but that's because I'm messing around with everything. So what we want is that. That could work. That has promise. Okay, good. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to make the armoring at the edge here look, you know, smoother. How's that look? Looks interesting. And in fact, we've got a circular area here which we can do something with as well. So let's add the rest of the... Well, I'm going to add the rest of the armorings to the engines, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, we're back. So I had another idea. Instead of doing this kind of thing here, what we can do is this kind of thing, which is using these like shallower slopes to deal with the corner sections. I don't know which one I prefer. I guess I have to have a look once we do the sloping of everything. So let's do that. What we need to do is we need something. First of all, let's create a rim around here so that we can have some sort of area to start building on. Okay. Next thing that we want to do is we'll work on one corner. We'll work on this corner, and then we'll see how this works later. So we can get rid of this. Get rid of this. So if we use this thing and place it here, and we can get rid of this and this guy. And then we can place one of these inverted corners. I think it has potential. I'm not so confident about this this engine section. It looks really weird. Possibly because, you know, it's not balanced whatsoever. No. I am not confident in this engine section. It will be demolished. Which will be highly entertaining for me to do. Right, so we will be back in a second once I have removed the engine section, as I currently do not like it. Okay, right. We are back. I have just demolished everything because, you know, not that I had a tantrum or anything. Right. So now we have to think of another design that we could go for. Right, so since we have 2x2, I'm going to turn off construction on the construction drone just in case I do something stupid. So what we could do, in fact, is the proper way of saying things, is I could move this along here, place that like this, move that to there, place it like that. And this guy could go here. No, that's not gonna work. So I was thinking is we have it go out from the center, so like we extend the hull over it, and basically there's a huge dip in the center, but that's not going to work either. What we really need, I really don't want to have to copy that design because that's just going to be annoying me quite a lot. Well, first of all, I need to check how long this is, which I could check using this actually. So the design we've got stopped here, you know, for the chassis bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. This is really annoying. Let's have a look. I'll be back in a second once I have some more ideas how to do this. Okay, we're back, and I believe I have a design that we could use. So, we're going to be using these large thrusters again, because of course we are. They are stupidly powerful, and, well, stupidly powerful. And what we're going to do is, essentially, go like this. Yeah, so we have one here, and we have one there, but it's also a corner one. So basically what we're going to do is have corner varieties. So we want the next one being here, if we can actually flip it the right way, have it here, and then, you know, do the other side. So on and so forth. So we just place these all the way around. However, I'll only be doing like one half of the ship because just in case I, you know, don't do it correctly. And then what we do is we have the other end, which aims outwards, and then we have a nice, you know, docking area for ships back here, which means that we can use the front for the bridge as opposed to the middle of the ship for the bridge. Yeah, might be useful. So now that we've got this, right, let me just fill this gap in a bit, because no, I don't want you. You're not the block that I asked for. You're not my armor block. Just add these guys in so that we've got a bit of room, or at least a place to work with. So now that we've got that, what we can do is we can have these large blocks here. So we can have these be used here and here, except that wasn't the way that I wanted to do it, but oh well, to make it look better. And then what we do is we have these guys going up like this. And that should be good. So what I need to do now is activate the thing, the magical thing of wonderfulness. Nano factories, yes, that's the thing. Need to activate nano factories so this thing can be constructed. Construct on. And what we'll essentially do is have it. So back here we have everything go outwards so that we've got a slope here. I'll show you what I mean in a second once these guys are finished. Because, oh my god, nano factory is useful. I keep saying it, but it is true. So that we've got that, what we can do is we don't need this anymore. No, we don't. We don't need it. Do it. Okay, so we don't need that. What we can do is we can have a thing like this. Place it like here. No, I'll place it there, not like there. And then we can go up like this into the vast freedoms of the universe. So if I get this guy and do the same here, then we should have a very, very nice pattern. Like that. If you see what I mean. And we can have gyroscopes in here if we need to. I'll keep it open like here so that we can do that. Next thing that we need to do is the rear section, which is going to be questionable. So what we need is we need this guy and this guy. This is going to be the hard part because I need to kind of seal it up without making it look absolutely terrible. Which I believe I can do. I have the ability, I think. It's just a matter of getting things done. So we need that guy there. Need this guy here. No, you don't. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Okay. What we need to do, as I said before, is we want these guys placed like this. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. That's the wrong place. Wrong place. Put it back there. No, don't place that there. I want a you place here. And then we place the guy there, and then that should be good. Okay. And then what we can do is we need regular blocks here, we do regular blocks here, and then we just need slopes. One there, and one here. Now, the only thing I would wish was in the game was a slanted slope thing. My oxygen's critical and my energy's critical. I should probably have that looked at. Yeah. So I'll go refill my... Yeah, this looks good. This looks like something I can get involved with. Yes. So the next step is getting this all sorted. But I imagine that's going to be quite easy, since all we do is just... Oh, yes, that is going to require some special block. We have one of those, actually. We have one of those. If we go to armor ramps here, we should have a block that does that. Should do, anyway. So what we're looking for is a block where this side here is at its minimum, and then it ramps up to here. Like that. So what we're looking for is a half version of this. Which would be this one? No, it wouldn't. What are we looking for? Oh, yeah, I'm dying. Okay, I get the point. I'm probably gonna die. Oh well. It was nice knowing you all. It was nice knowing... Hang on. Oh yes, one of them has medical nanites enabled. That does make sense. Right. Oh, I'm not going to have the stupid, you know, breathing sound effect on me. Yeah, so one of the nanites is actually set to heal. That shouldn't be happening, but it is. And now I've got the... because apparently I'm still low on oxygen, but I'm not. I've got my oxygen. God damn it, fix it. Because that thing is driving me insane. Anyway, yes, we'll be back in a second once I have, you know, done the same to all the others and found the correct block I need to be able to do... no, not that one, not there, over here. Come on, Slowpoke. To do this kind of thing. So, back in a second. Okay, we are back. So, after a long time of placing down lots of blocks, we finally have our lovely engine arrangement. We have in total 8 T1 thrusters heading forward and 8 T1 thrusters heading backward. I'm quite pleased with how this turned out, actually. Yes. And then in the rear we can have some form of thing. I don't know what thing I would prefer. We could also add another layer of armor around here so that we have more room. But yeah, this should do what I need it to do, which is very nice. So we can have the engine bay back in here, or we can have it in the front, as we said before. Now, some plans with what we're going to do with the nose section. I don't think we'll just have the regular nose as we do on the capital ship. I am thinking of something else. And then, you know that the capital ship has tons of turrets. Instead, what we are going to do is we're going to have tons of oxygen farms and solar panels, which basically will allow us to remain more efficient, and it also means that we can have unlimited amount of oxygen, so in case we run out of if we run out of ice, then we can still generate oxygen so that people don't die, which is very useful. So yeah, we'll be working on the nose section of the ship next episode. Until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.